Come on up in here. Come on up in here.
Can't nobody make me believe that TikTok.
Put a one in the comments. Hey, Benny Rob. Who is that? Benny Robinson? Come on up in here real quick. I got about 25 minutes before I jump on a call. And I don't know if Facebook, we stream in Facebook and YouTube. Y'all know I've been taking care of me. Amen. And I hope y'all doing the same thing. But y'all know this month it is all about get the spook out of here, overcoming fear so you can handle that business. Okay. Whatever it is that you need to handle, that's what we're going to be tackling for the month. We are more importantly, are positioning social workers and soul workers, carriers who's coming out of hiding with their gift. They are coaching, consulting, and speaking. They've been secretly coaching most of their life with the call on their life. And now God has afforded me to be able to guide some amazing women that's coming out left and right. The things that shame you the most is usually connected to what it is that you are supposed to be doing. So when we're talking about get the spook out of here, how to overcome fear, a lot of you guys know this stuff already. Hey, Leah. And so when we talking about really, what is it going to take for you to make a decision? When we talking about handling your business, what basic business you keep rescheduling? Y'all, I don't know how much more to tell y'all. I'm not going to lose my voice no more, but we got to really interrupt the people's program. Hey, girl, you got to be able to interrupt the enemy's program. Like you don't need another motivational cookie. You don't need a Panda Express. What is that cookie called, Leah? Panda Express fortune cookie. Okay. What is it really like? Like, what are you really afraid of? You sitting up here talking about Black folks need to hang out more and they need to support each other more because you living on the corner of life that only show you a non-supportive small fraction of the world. Meanwhile, it's a plethora. As you can see me sitting up in a Black-owned establishment as a tenant. So if you make yourself available for noise, you're going to find it. Some of y'all will drop noise off and look all in between the seats looking for it. It's costing you a whole lot to keep rescheduling what God wants you to do. Think about it. How many of you guys lose stuff left and right? You finna go out and work 2.5 jobs to get these kids this Christmas stuff, and they finna lose it because you know, raising the next generation to, you know, not honor and cherish things because mama made it look easy. And y'all know I worked in child welfare, so I can only speak when it comes to social work. I can only hit y'all with child welfare, where I was afforded to work for 20 years before I went into the cage. And everything, and I told y'all out of all of the 20 years, whether I was working in emergency response, family reunification, hey, Sister Shirley, and things is getting worse and worse. If you speak about this the breakdown in the world day in and day out, you're going to be speaking yourself into hopelessness. Look back to what your grandmama told you, what your grandmama lived through on her fixed income, because the prayer was fixed too. And I don't know, at some point in your life, you have to talk to I don't know if I'm the only one. Am I the only one to talk to myself? You got to be like, self, I done ate another too many motivational muffins. I can't keep rocking Dr. Martin Luther King dream as just a day off so I can lay up and do nothing. You have to decide, because these are raggedy systems. They was never designed to do that. They was never designed to take up your responsibility. That's why, like I said, the Social Work Boss Academy is starting this week, baby. And we coming out swinging with this coaching. Y'all don't need no more motivational cookies, girl. Look at your account and your health and how you going through about James and Tyrone. If that ain't enough to get you to move your feet, I don't know what else to do. Some of y'all pressing people too hard. You want them to change and you all uptight because they're not changing on your timeline. And that's really robbing you from doing what God wants you to do. And then y'all know how it is when we were down there in social work. They want to blame it on the social worker. Wait. Hold on. You get to scroll and maximize the Diddy trial all day and cross your lips and not even be fully present to these kids. And you want the social worker to do the heavy lifting. In the meanwhile, on the back end, social work fighting policy, procedures, isms, and schisms, and you have no skin in the game. I know, baby, listen, you talking to a woman that overcame depression. I know how depression looks. But depression, how you laid up, ain't been more, washed yourself together, washed your hair, got to get your. I understand all that. Just like I'm telling other people, life don't give us a pass to lay up and be married to depression. Baby, like mama said, we was coming up, depressed them dishes. Right? Because like I told somebody today, I said, check this out. You don't get to pick and choose when your mental illness is flared up. Okay? Because the same you that's begging and dry begging for the money with your bipolar. Okay? And I'm not minimizing nobody's diagnosis. What I am is interrupting the enemy's program that make you so aligned. As one of the coaches, Shay, say out of Arizona, we in this identity crisis. And I'm going to add some jail to it and say identity foreclosure is here. You can't pick and choose when you're going to be depressed. Because if somebody wrote you a check, baby, you finna get your depressed self up and go run, because that's your value proposition. And then when it's time to hold you accountable, get up there to the school and do what you got to do to handle the business, okay? Or start your business, and you've been doing it secretly anyway, but now you're scared to start. Baby, get the spook out of here. What are you really running from? There's a whole world out here to be lived. How can our babies vibrate in hopefulness if all they see you doing is hanging around chickens talking about what the eggs costing and what Orange Face is doing? Y'all got, I don't care if your grandmama, your mama didn't raise you. Somebody got you from there to here. It might wasn't all the way pretty, but what got you from there to here? The grace of God, whether you're vibing with God right now or not. There's a spiritual being. All of us are spiritual beings. Do you have beliefs outside of yourself that sustains you? Do you have beliefs outside of your pretty self that sustains you? That's the word they try to coach us to say down in child welfare. In other words, how you listen, you can't even make this stuff up. Some of y'all done survived accidents, surgeries, kids done beat kids. Listen, they try to throw the book at you in court, and the favor of God stepped in and intervened. You need to tap back and sit your butt down. And when the enemy try to come, you say, no, devil. You're wise counsel. You're the wise counsel to the young people. They not what you see when they need to pull their pants up. And that's all you see? That's all you see is my deficits in the world that tell me I ain't nothing? You didn't see my leaky brown eyes. You don't have the spirit of discernment that say I'm going through. I want to take my stepdad out because he violated my mom. And I'm really contemplating on taking this. I got to be mindful of what this little, we playing by these people rules. Because the book and TikTok is fighting like the game bangers back in the 80s and 90s. Have y'all noticed? White collar boxing it out. And y'all ain't out here leveraging it like an OG like me and all of these other coaches coming out. Let them build it. We coming to interrupt the enemy program. Yes, we are. Because we're inviting you to the next process. Because where you hang out at, that's the core identity of what you know to be true. Like I was getting on the freeway tonight. And you got people with kids in the car seat willing to unalive themselves, trying to not give you the right of way. So if people operating like that, why is your feelings hurt? Because they're not faithful to you. They're not faithful to themselves. That's on you for setting the bar up for people that already showed you that they gutter. What is your qualifying factors to have people kick it with you and have access to you, texting you about the non-essentials of what's going on? Either you're going to power up through the pain, or you're going to lay flat down and let them keep giving you medication and go get a raggedy Social Security check. I called it what it is because it's enabling a lot of people. You don't want little daddy to get up and do what he got to do because you want some free money. Yo, you was raised better than that. And even if you wasn't raised, let me tell y'all, for some of y'all to act like, so listen, every social worker I know was called to this work because of our trauma. It's so many of y'all eating this trauma toast like it's a badge of honor. Get up out of here with that. The enemy wants you to be married to all of that. Your birth certificate don't say bipolar 1 or 2. We got a study group going this week to study for this big old exam. What are you answering to right now? Get the spook out of here. Trick or treat. You better listen. It's disrespectful to the call to act like you ain't been through nothing and got over something and sitting up scrolling through life. People that made apps where you can make global impact the impact in your community and your income so you can write out some charitable organizations or even start them. We already had enough proof. We can't make our kids wait till they're 16 with a work permit. There is no summer jobs anymore. You ain't been asleep under a rock. So why they ain't got sweat equity going on at the house? For some of y'all that overcompensate and give them all the trips and stuff and then turn around and get mad when they go work at McDonald's and don't know how to work the microwave. And when they do, that stuff tearing your stomach up anyway. They never work. I spoil mine. I can speak about this. But you also, Sister Deborah, have a right to go around and set them good boundaries. Because the healed version of you don't overcompensate for the part you know you can't show up for your kids with. Show me a parent that don't emotionally connect. They got the biggest Christmas trees sometimes. I didn't say all the time because I don't know all people. I know behavior. And that's very gray and subjective, right? So how much more does it take for you to activate what's inside of you? Some of y'all been through things that can run circles around people. And you hiding that gift. Letting shame win. All over the place, ain't got no money, but you don't know if your money coming or going. You don't know who taking what out your check. Baby, sit yourself down somewhere. Yeah, you can run to the doctor. They're going to give you some medicine. And the medicine going to suppress this very emotion you've been holding for 30 years that needs to come out. Hey, Dr. Chastity. You got skin in the game. Make it count. Compete with yourself. Compete with yourself. Have fun with it. I know you spoil them. You know I'm big on family meetings. I told y'all to get on Amazon and get the Therapy Bestie book. I didn't make that off of ChatGPT. Me and Chastity, all of us, OG, triple double, baby, we are thinkers. God download stuff in us. Yeah, we're going to leverage ChatGPT to get the kinks out and outline it. But baby, you can't compete with what God put down up in us. I said do the family meetings. Get an understanding. I know I spoiled y'all booger bears, but it's going to be some changes around here. Start now so y'all don't get off butthurt about Christmas. You can't take your sister kids in right now. I'm sorry. It's about you and yours, whether they grown or not. Put a Zoom link up and say we having a family meeting so our babies won't be saying, Mama, something happened. Somebody unalive. Is that what the app let me say, Chastity? Y'all, am I the only one? Wait, something happened? Something happened. It's never about, oh, did you call to say somebody get married? It's always, am I the only one or y'all family straight? Okay? That's because we're not connecting only when things are heavy. But we got to write with that awareness to come back and say, no, everything is good in the hood. We just want to tap in. I know you live in that state, God wants us to connect. How are you, son or daughter? You in college. Don't ever make yourself believe you can't come to me and say you want to take a few less credits because mentally you tapped out in college. Because I'm not going to give you performance-based praise. If you need to change your major and that's in your heart to do, let's work through this, because it's not about me giving you performance-based praise so I can brag to my friends about it. It's about being in alignment of what God assigned to that baby. Okay? It grieves me that we're not making the main thing the main thing. It grieves me, there's very sad people that's having financial struggles. The little bit that you are entrusted with, you don't know if it's coming or going because you got too much going on. And it's time out for you to be laid up in the hospital to be aware that you got too much going on. The Social Work Boss Academy, like I told the ladies at orientation last week, it deals with the whole woman. It's not for the one that's going to run off. I have accountability that holds me accountable. Everybody need it, because you can't see and project further than what you know, right? You get somebody with some core values, Sister Three Bless, that align with where you know you're going. And y'all know, do not jump into entrepreneurship because you think it's a money grab. All you want to do is sit up, complain, and collect. Baby, that's not what this is about. It's not about getting over so you can show your ex how you came up. Baby, you got to get your mind together. Get your mind renewed. And say, Lord, you blessed me to get through some heavy stuff before. I know things is tough right now, but I can't afford to be around people that smother my gift. I can't afford to make myself believe I got to have a shot of Hennessy and drop some Percocets because I'm running a $500,000 budget. The world gonna praise me for that. But secretly, I'm dropping Percocets to go to sleep at night. The devil is a lie. Are you showing up for yourself? You got to put in the work to go find the tribe that's your vibe, because if it don't run in your family, tag you're it. Dr. Chastity will tell you, we met at the Black Girls in Social Work Conference years ago. I think it's 2 years, and we kicked it again together. I have people come in the program that disappear when it's time for them to be stretched. Won't show up. You got to trust that your growth is going to cause some pains, but it's far greater pains than the pain of staying stuck. You have to decide that today. And for some of y'all Care Bears that's on your healing journey, because we all are on a journey, it's okay to take a pause on the journey, baby girl. You can't keep saying it's James and Charles in your relationship. If you got a vicious cycle of dating at the capacity in which you're unsatisfied with, then it's time to look within myself. Maybe I'm too much, my attachments is so loose that anything that look like it's going to love me a little bit, because I didn't get it in childhood. I just connect so loosely, right? And I love so hard. And then when rejection hit, I sum all the relationships up to there's no good men in the world. Whole time you need to date yourself for a cool minute, get down to the little girl in you that needs that so much that you're willing to give up and compromise the warning signs that's been before you. That's why I had people apply this year for the Social Work Boss Academy. Social Work Boss Academy just launched in North Carolina, praise God. Y'all know I've been off for a cool minute because it was an attack on my vocals. And I was obedient. And being in that obedience, the floodgates opened up. In that obedience, God had already showed me the master coaches coming out, doing what they already do. Now, my question to you, if everybody lay down a link and say, girl, if you've been SA'd, and every time you date, the smell of that man, the uncle, or when people get SA'd, it's typically someone who's close to this person. So you try to date through that and some of these triggers come up. That's not my journey. But one of the ladies coming out said, look, I've been through that, right? And this is what God has done for me. Step by step, I'm going to be on this journey with you, right? So you have to decide, I'm going to keep hiding. I have set the bar so high for these ladies, and they're learning how to take critical feedback, because I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to be obedient, and obedience is going to hurt sometime. If you are opportunist and looking to speak about something so the world can see you because there's some unresolved part of you that's trying to show somebody something, I know that spirit. You're an opportunist. What do you want people to really know now that you got their attention? Can you eat the same words you give out? We all are on the journey, y'all. You over here pissed off about this, that, and third. God will shut a door down because that's not the door for you. And you sitting up with Nene and them at happy hour, which is sad hour. And they over here making these platforms for you to really dominate. I move slower than most of y'all. I'm only going to take a handful because I'm a hands-on, high touch, as they say, coach. Giving you the blueprint to run the play. Run the play with what you have. They'll tell you, well, I got to go get. No, we don't. Because if you make it about going to get the pretty stuff, you're going to hide behind your links. This digital stuff can work for your favor if you get up under the right mentorship. If not me, somebody else will show you how to leverage it. But no, you want to keep scrolling. You want to keep playing your tic-tac-toe and tap out. Somebody got to be focused to the kids. So when you are not being obedient, it's attached to those babies at the school of grandbabies. And then they're going to put them in with the psychologists when they come to the campus. And you ain't got no kind of partnership with it to change your program at the crib. That's why I told them in Arizona, them people had big money, y'all. You hear me, Shelly? Had big money. They say, oh, I said, excuse me. Y'all know, some of y'all travel social workers know you go to different states and different agencies and you get wait a minute, wait, hold on. This is what we doing, dropping kids off with long checks and say, cure my child, and I ain't got no skin in the game. Hold on. That's a money grab. Because the core thing that the child has to go back home to, you want a glorified break, and you can't pay me enough to be a part of that. That's what Brother Felix said. That's moral injury 101. I'm not clocking it. Hold on. Park your Tesla. Park your Hoopty. Park your Toyota Camry. Park your vehicle and get off your phone and be fully vested to this. Because in 30 days, baby boy and baby girl is going to go back to the same chaos. And it's still going to be on fire. Because you, my friend, is in denial. Well, you can't really say that because that's how we get our funding. I'm going to say what I need to say in love and dignity, not in front of an audience. Help me to understand, when did this all start? Y'all know a lot of young people still grieving their grandparents that died during COVID. And y'all on the phone, girl, you heard about COVID. Little boy over here being triggered because he still missed grandma and papa. You can give them a tablet. You can give them all of the gadgets to keep them distracted, but it's messing up their brain. So how many of you guys in here, before I log off, secretly coaching, people come to you, ask you things naturally. You just a natural born good listener. You can really solve issues. You solve issues whether you survive through it naturally. And y'all see the world is a mess right now. And you're going to sit back and cross your legs and your whatever, complain about that job when you have a whole kingdom job sitting in that living room, wherever you kicking it at watching me. The problem is you don't believe somebody going to invest in themselves. The problem is you looking at life through a narrow vision. For my uptight people in here, why are you so uptight? The reason why you so uptight, you frustrated and you bitter and you resentful because you said to yourself, I'm supposed to be further along than this. And you probably absolutely right. And you could be absolutely wrong. You and I have been absolutely right and wrong and successfully wrong on the journey of life. But we didn't fall off. And if we fell down, we surely got back up. Hence, we're here. I'm not interested in what you believe or feel. Get through your feelings and operate in faith. I'm going to do the hard thing, even if it stretch me. I'm finna stop investing in things and then don't show up. I'm finna stop being around people that's not on the same wavelength, because I can't really, make this transition for me and carry dead weight all at the same time. I don't know about y'all, but when God heal you, do y'all make a covenant with the Lord? Lord, y'all know, get me through this, get my kids through this, my parents through this. Lord, anyway, Lord, please. And then we go back to complaining. We all guilty of it. We ain't got a lot to kick it. But you got to do some self-inventory. Why are you sitting up here on a tight budget but finna beat yourself down to the ground for Christmas? So the next part, what if you close your whole social media accounts down? Nobody even seen what you got for Christmas. Why don't you start a small business and put the kids in the business? Why don't you give me your brain and them ideas God has given you the next 90 days and give it to me and your thoughts? Like I'm finna log on with a mastermind right now. I knew I can be at home in my home office, but I know Coco gonna be hollering. I know I'm not the most focused, and I know the environment. So I choose to come over here where I rent from a Black business owner here in Fresno, California. So I can be fully present in my element, to be fully present to this amazing young lady that's going to be coming out powerfully for young Black moms. Because why? She's a college-educated young Black mom. Social work, about to finish her bachelor's up in May. Okay? She's showing up. I can't keep operating like this. She made a decision. And everybody, just for the record, is not kicking it online, by the way. They not. They sitting at the grocery store waiting on you. There's all kind of vendor opportunities all winter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, harvest, all kinds of vendor opportunities. Go to the Dollar Tree and get you a tablecloth and get you some cute stuff on the table and sit your beautiful self at that desk or that table at that vendor. Some of these vendors only want to charge you like $40 or $50 so they can offset their expenses. What is it stopping you from you and your kids having a vendor table this year? I don't care if you don't need no website. Just start talking to them about, hey, I do vent sessions when people stressed out. I'm a relationship coach. When things get rocky and roll, you could call me. What's stopping you? These kids get excited, Sister Antoinette, when you put them in the business. My grandkids get excited when they have sweat equity hours. My son them had honest hustle when they was little, raking up people leaves during the fall with the plastic bags. Go to the Dollar Tree and get the big old black hefty bags. People would write them checks on the strength that it was cold and it was a few kids in the hood going to these different neighborhoods, raking people leaves. That's called sweat equity. You're funding this desire to want a phone. The ones that slept in, the daddies tried to pay for them to go to Magic Mountain. They can't go because they didn't put no skin in the game. Well, it's just been, no, you enabled them. Don't come at me talking about the village need to get active and then you want to activate when you want to. You enabling him, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Did I close that nonprofit because my kids graduated and moved on? Absolutely not. Another entrepreneur, including this young lady right here, keep the taxes going so it can stay active. Why? Because Antoinette might pull up on me and say they're going to give out some free toys for tots. They only going to donate it to a nonprofit. She may not have a nonprofit. We might do this a strategic partnership. I got the paperwork. And she going to be on the ground moving for these toys, for example. It ain't about me. It's not about you. That's what a community mom does, but knows her boundaries. Anyway, I'm finna get on the call. What doesn't happen much anymore? The strategic partnership. Sis over on Facebook say that doesn't happen much anymore. That's a good point. When things don't happen much anymore, do y'all move off the square? The message is always the same. but the method changes. Everybody hanging out online. And as a mental health therapist, y'all know what I know about the digital distraction being the modern day crack cocaine. So if you online, and let's say I was on here unhealthy amount of times, I would be reinforcing the very thing I'm called to disrupt. That's why y'all haven't seen me. This is why I'm telling y'all to do these digital fasts, because this is crack cocaine if you don't have discipline in anything that you do, money, social media, so forth and so on. So anything you don't see enough of and it's really stirring you up, sis, tag, that's a wink from the heavens that say, you know what? I see too many drowning social workers. All I see on the news is we baby snatchers. But what they don't know is we didn't get into it for that. But we see all the relatives that knew what was going on didn't say nothing. So we in between a rock and a hard place because the system is raggedy. It's going to remain raggedy because it was never designed to do that. So anything all of y'all, like Sister Shelley said, that I see, you don't move your square. Where my 70s babies at? We are not rah-rah people. We're rooted. That's why it took a lot of us longer to get a cell phone. We're going to leverage ChatGPT, but a person that was rooted with substance, I'm not implying all young people not rooted. That's not what I'm saying. But a person that's rooted in substance, they're not rah-rah. They're not bandwagon. These are the core foundation in which I flow. And if it take me longer to read it, that's just what it is. Because what y'all don't know before I log off, the person that refused to read the blueprint is going to turn around and pay me and the coaches that's up under my leadership. You're going to pay them to read it because you're too busy doing this. So it's costing you to be all of this squirreliness called anxiety sometimes. I'm not diagnosing anyone, but I'm saying to you, I'm finna log off. And I want you to consider, if I really start showing up for me and the things that God has been whispering to me and screaming, he don't have to scream because he's gentle and he's patient and he's loving and he's kind. He meet us at our place of need. It's not about if you talk loud or talk low. Get up off of these descriptions. Show up with what you got. Meet me in the DMs. Meet me in the DMs. Let's have the conversation with one of the success coaches. They're called and equipped and anointed for this. They got skin in the game. That's what led us to this work, which we never really think we had to go to school for. We learned a lot. The mind, how to restructure the cognition of what the thoughts is telling me, and it shows up behaviorally. Make a decision that I'm a part of Black history, whether I'm getting up doing what I'm supposed to or not. What side of the track I'm going to lay on? We only have 2 spots left. We have different pathways. I have all kinds of coaches specializing in everything. We're working on getting a website with my girlfriend in Sacramento. She has a whole coaching website where you can get on there. There's a specialty your son need, you need. Some of y'all 50 plus acting like life is over. Baby, life just began at 50 plus. So get up out of here with that. This is what we're doing. Defining our target audience. We are going to get down with the get down. We started on Thursday. I got to go. Never will I say goodbye, but really understand that you and I have been through way too much to sit here and mismanage and water down your gift. If you won't show up for you, at least show up for the babies. If you don't have kids biological, I'm sure you're the favorite auntie or uncle up in here. Show up for them until we can still work through this healing process, and you're going to start showing up for you. Okay, start with what you got. See me in the DMs and I'll check them and we'll see if you're a good fit. But if everybody stand in alignment with where they're supposed to be, I can guarantee with every fiber of my 53 years of living that a lot of these systems y'all crying about because they doing what they doing, God is going to be God in the whole situation. A lot of the people in the 20 years I served just wasn't so much unresolvedness and pain. I didn't see a lot of evil people. They didn't know that they can be trusted with the heaviest stuff they've been through. That ends on my watch. So what you see that there's not a lot of, tag. I'm going to use my reasonable service and make sure under my watch that there's a handful of people in this thing called life, and they can go ahead on the next process. That's for the people that's ready. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the people that's not ready. That's not my work. That's not your work. We're not getting exhausted with that. That's the spirit of distraction. And quit saying everybody ain't going to do that. Y'all got to get on the inside so we can disrupt that mindset. I'll see y'all later. Bye. See you later. Bye. Hey, Danceaholic. I gotta get on the mastermind. I'll see y'all later. See you later. Bye. Come into the